I think people see German as being cold or being emotional, not really nice or unfriendly, probably associated with the strong and with a strong language and harsh, I would say. I think that's not how it is. Once you know German well and the German is feeling comfortable around you, I think you see him in a completely different way. Once you know a German, you really see that it's not even close to that. Engineering is the biggest thing we're proud of. It just represents the German behavior, the German values really well, because everybody knows that German cars are very efficient. They are just reliable. And it's basically representing the German to the world. We definitely take accountability for what has happened. We basically have history classes or subjects in school since grade 5. And every year, at least one topic is World War II and what happened. So people know what actually happened back in the day, and that this is a reminder that this should never happen again.
Welcome to my podcast, World to the Max. I'm your host once again, Maxime. A reminder, like always, I'm doing this podcast to get to know other cultures, other countries, how people live in other countries. So today I'm with another special friend, Paul from Germany. So how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Perfect. So we've met in university playing football together. And well, I have to say, he's a pretty good player from Germany, very typical player from Germany. So yeah, good time.
What is a typical player from Germany?
And the idea I had before I met you was pretty much you, solid player, strong, physical, I guess. But yeah, that was a pretty clear representation of Germany. Also as a person too,
Okay,
We'll get into that later.
we'll definitely get into that later.
So first, few things I want to talk about are the country, for example, where it is in Europe, where it is the population, some things like this.
Yeah, so Germany is, I would say, the heart of Europe, very central of Europe. It is, yeah, it has borders next to 9 different countries, so it's really connected to Europe as well, not just because of the population size or the importance of the country itself, but also like really connected to Europe. So yeah, really centrally placed in Europe.
True, actually, 9 different borders is probably the most in Europe.
Yeah, I think it's 9 around that. So I think probably the most in Europe. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to me, Germany is like split between Western Europe and Eastern Europe in a way. Is that
Yeah.
or
Yeah, definitely. You can say that.
yeah?
Even in the country historically, it was divided in East and West. So
That's probably why I think.
It fits pretty well.
So actually 9 different borders. Do you feel like each region that are connecting to the other countries are close to the region? Do you see a lot of differences in culture?
I don't know if I would make the distinction on or make it specific on the country that is around. I would more say like people from the East are definitely different from parts of the West. And yeah, there's still like a lot of areas where they have their own little traditions, and it's just a big country with a big population in Europe. So people in the North and in the South are like also doing some things differently. So I wouldn't say it's based on the country they are close to.
Yeah. Okay. And you say the country is pretty different from west to east. Tell me in what ways?
I mean, not only from west to east. I mean, some people just, you can see it most in probably the language. Since we in the West we say Hochdeutsch, it's like like the High German where everybody in German can talk about. Like it's like this language where that everybody understands, but we have so many dialects. In the East, there's a different dialect than in the North, and when you go really deep in the South, if they really talk in their natural habitat, you're not able to understand it when you live in the West or in the North of Germany. So it's best to describe it with, I would say.
So language, I didn't know that. I thought German was one big language and it's like didn't have so many different dialects, but you would say it's a big thing in Germany.
Yeah, definitely. Also some phrases. I mean, I think in the UK it's a little bit similar. Maybe not that crazy when it comes to the language, but is also very, very different when you travel to places. Yeah, definitely.
But you would say you're still able to understand any type of dialects or not?
For me, if they speak in their, like I said, their natural habitat down in the south, I'm not able to understand. Not a single word, probably. But if they want to, everybody's able to speak this Hochdeutsch, this High German language, where the words are basically the same and there are no special phrases.
Okay, well, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Talking about German, the language itself, what do you think? First question is, when you're German, are you aware of like the perception of other countries of the language?
I would say yes, specifically me, because I traveled, I would say, the world a little bit. So I know how people react or reflect on German language. Um, but probably the most people don't really, like before I came to the US and got to know a lot of people, I wouldn't say our language would be like aggressive or hard to pronounce. I don't know, we as Germans see our language really nice and beautiful. We're actually proud because we have big history. When it comes to literature, and we had some really good philosophical and a lot of poets back in the day that shaped how people see Germany and where like art in form of literature comes from.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Germany is definitely seen as very aggressive and very difficult. I don't know where it comes from, but it's just like saying a random thing in German sounds like you're mad at somebody, you know.
Yeah. We also talk with a um, interesting tone, I would say, where a lot of people would say, okay, this is a harsh language with really strong pronunciations. Yeah, I would say now that I know a lot of languages and spoken to a lot of people from different countries, it's not as smooth as other languages maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's very interesting to compare all the different languages, but yeah, German is definitely, to me, talk to me about the complexity of it. Like,
Yeah.
why is it so difficult to learn it?
I would say we have a lot of words to describe daily things you can even say, or feelings. That's why I think literature has always been really, really good in the history of Germany, because the amount of words we have in German is just insane. Um, and that makes you describe things better. And also our grammar is really, really difficult. So it's a really hard language to learn. Even if you say, let's compare it with one example, like articles. In English, you say the tree, the computer, the shoe, whatever. In Germany, we have three articles. We say der, die, and das. So for each object, for example, sometimes you say die, der, or das. So this is something that German can't really describe because there's no rule you could follow. It's just something that you have to experience, learn, and you learn while you're here in Germany. You can't really teach that, and also other things with grammar that you learn in school, but that I know forgot. I mean, I know how to speak German, but I couldn't tell you the exact form of how you say it, or because some words are just, or sentences are just formed so complicated, I would say, that it wouldn't make sense to explain it in any other language.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, grammar in German is different level.
Yeah, I think everybody who experienced that, I know some European countries that sometimes offer in school to learn German. I know that a lot of people quit after 1 year of trying that subject in school or something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a connection I want to make between the language and people. Do you see a connection between how people speak, like the intonation, and also the way they behave?
I would say if people say they speak really harsh and in a special tone that almost sounds aggressive, I don't know if I would connect that with behavior, but if it comes to grammar and how it works, it's definitely structured and organized. So I would say that's definitely something that you could describe a German with, or a German value with. Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, you would say, I mean, that's for sure. Germans are really structured, very disciplined in a way.
at least we try to be.
I mean, yeah, some countries don't even try to be. So that's
It's a good call. Yeah.
how is it? How do you experience that in the everyday life, this structure in Germany?
I would say that it's basically in our DNA. I don't even know that you would, as a German, really think that you got raised structured or organized or disciplined because that's what you experienced. I don't know how other people from countries experience it, but yeah, we just have some values in our country that are definitely different than other countries in the world, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, give me some examples. For example, when you traveled, give me some things that other people didn't do, but for you it was normal to do.
So I would definitely say something that we really like is follow rules. So what's funny is like even though the rule doesn't make sense, the Germans still follow that rule. Good example is there's this it's 2 a.m. in the morning and there's a traffic light and you traveling with a car. It's 2 a.m. There's no car around and the light is red. In other countries you just go ahead and drive because there's no car around. But in Germany, it's the rule that you can't drive when the light is red. So you stop obviously, even though it doesn't make sense. So this is definitely one example I could give. Or uh, what's really important to us is to be respectful with other people's time. So we really like and got raised to be on time. It's funny to say because now when your German audience is listening to it, we always talk about the Deutsche Bahn. So the German train, uh, it's kind of funny because it's never on time, but in general, we're really respectful with other people's time, and that's how we got raised. So what I saw, especially in South America, that people don't really care about the time. If there's family dinner at 8, scheduled at 8, they start cooking maybe at 9 or something. People, they don't take time that serious, I would say. Whereas in Germany, it's a form of respect, I would say. So if there is an appointment or whatever, if there's a set time, it says 8 a.m., then you show up at 7:45. It's always those 15 minutes you show up earlier. Then you're on time. And if you show up after 8, it's really disrespectful. And some people just, yeah, take
Nope.
it really, really bad because it's a disrespect, basically.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. German are really disciplined. Well, being punctual is just sign of respect in a way. I don't know if it's the same in every country in Europe.
I wouldn't say so.
No, no,
When I
no.
look more to the south, they
Yeah,
they get less organized with time, I would say.
that's true actually. That's
Yeah.
true. A lot of southern countries are like this.
When I look at Italy, they're more like people from South America than people from Germany.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely. Speaking about the country in itself, so what it has to offer. Germany is, I wouldn't say it's not the most visited country in Europe, but it has a lot of different things to offer. So, what would you say are some things that Germany has to offer for tourists?
For tourists, that's a really good question. Yeah, we're not that big in terms of sightseeing, I would say. Like we're not known for you go to a big city and visit the Eiffel Tower or something. Um, I would say what you can do amazingly in Germany is hiking. We have amazing paths in woods or in the Alps, all the way in the south, where there are like amazing hiking tours that you can do that also last like a couple weeks. Skiing, definitely skiing is also a big part of German culture. And we don't have really the nice ocean next to us, so that's not really an option. But I would say definitely hiking is a big thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One thing that I thought about is it's a lot of history in Germany in a way. Like a lot of people go to Germany to explore history. Would you agree?
I would definitely agree. Yeah, we're a big part in history, always been. I think you can also say that, especially because of the wars as well and what happened here. And yeah, it's always been a pretty developed country, I would say. Big population as well, and a lot of figures that shaped the world in a way, and always also famous people that helped develop the world by itself, if it's in music and art or in engineering or physics. I mean, when I just look at Albert Einstein, I think maybe even greatest physicist that um, ever lived. Yeah, I think big part on that part when it comes to history. You can see a lot of museums, especially because of of the war. You can experience war museums. We have a lot of castles that you can visit. They are beautiful. I think we have uh, amazing architecture when it comes to houses in general. I mean, if you go around the city, you won't see the same house twice.
Mm.
Every house has its own architecture or is designed differently, or so this is really unique to have your own home here in Germany, which is not uh, which doesn't look like the rest of the houses. So this is really interesting to go around the city and maybe even appreciate the little things, if you want to say it like that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, history, I mean, Germany is a big country in terms of power, history, and also like all the industries. That's probably what's made this big of an economy, I guess. Are people proud of this industry? Like, for example, cars, all those different industries in Germany?
Definitely. I think we're even top 5 in the world when it comes to export goods into other regions in the world. Engineering is I would probably say the biggest thing we're proud of. It just represents the German behavior, the German values really, really well, because I think everybody knows that German cars are very well structured. They look luxurious, they are efficient, they are just reliable. And I think that's how the world would see a German citizen, the way they see the car. It's basically representing the German to the world, I would say. So engineering is definitely a big part. But not only engineering, but also when it comes to products that or like healthcare products like lotion, or we have big industry in that or shampoo or those kind of things. We produce that as well really, really well. And yeah, I think that represents it really well. And but not only that, we also have other huge things that we're proud of. I mean, we love beer.
Yes,
That's definitely a big thing too. Germans like beer, brew good beer, I would say. That's also a big thing. And this in connection with football. As in the US, you say soccer, but here is in Europe is football, is also huge. I think when you talk to people in the world, they either talk about the car, the beer, or football. This is just those 3 things that I would say are huge tradition in Germany.
definitely. Definitely. Those are the big three: beers, football, and then cars. And
Yeah, yeah.
definitely. I like what you said about the final products of the industry, like, for example, cars, whether it's other big companies, like some people might not know, but Adidas, Puma, those are also German companies. But like, the final product is, at least the final intention is to look reliable and disciplined in a way.
100%. And that's also, if you could say so, that's how people get raised. That's the deep value of Germany that people try to convey, or how to raise their kids and get them to behave that way. So you can have an organized economy and live in peace and have unity in the country, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure it affected the economy in a good way. All those big companies and stuff. Today, speaking, would you say Germany is still a country that, well, you can live with a good salary in Germany? Is that one of the best countries in Europe to go to if you want to go up the working ladder?
Yes, I think in Europe might be even the best country still. It's just that, yeah, I think Germany, when it comes to working, we take work really serious. We also, in the kind of way, like to work. It's just that mentality, I think, that our parents tried to convey when we grew up as kids, that work is a part of life, and that work also helps the country and shapes the country. And only with hard work, a country can succeed and be economically well, I would say. So definitely a really good place to be, to work. As of today, it's still an amazing place. Also with the system that is built around, everybody says, okay, Germany has a high percentage of taxes that's taken out by the government, but that also means that we have a general healthcare system. So basically, they take money out of your salary, and you're already insured. Whenever you break something or you have a sport injury, just like yourself just had, you will be well taken care of.
Yeah,
In the in every area, in every part of Germany, it's the same, and There's just, you go to the doctor, you don't have to, you basically have a little ID card and you show that you're insured and they take care of you, and that's about it.
Because in some countries it might be like hybrid. You're covered, but you also have to pay extra when you go to the doctor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Here is basically all taken care of. So you go to the doctor, he prescribes you the medication. Just go to the pharmacy and you take the medication from the pharmacy. So it's all well taken care of here, and I think that's also a thing that you don't have to worry about as an individual person. When you come here and you work, you have insurance right away through your company that you work for. You can say that this is a system that is well developed if you compare it worldwide to the world, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna say I like what you said about hardworking, because I think that's also the perception we have of German people. They're really hardworking. I was doing some research actually, and it said that German people live to work instead of working to live. It's like would you say it's an extreme statement, or would you say that's true? German people usually put too much of their energy and time into work.
I think it depends. If you enjoy your work and you go to work and stay at work and it's part of your life, then I don't feel that should be an issue, and it's not an extreme way. It depends on the person, I would say, but in general, it is a big part of everybody's life, which makes sense. I mean, we spend here 8-9 hours a day. If you don't like it, you probably won't have a fulfilled life. So why just don't go to work with a different mentality and say, hey, work is a location where I feel comfortable, where I feel appreciated, and where I can do things that help society.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. So well, I'm comparing with what I know, but for example, in other countries, work is seen as like a way to enjoy life. So like, I mean, it's not the same as you said. It always depends. Some people love their job, some people don't. But in a way, like work is seen as like, I would say, an exchange between time and money, where it's like, I can enjoy my time more because I work.
Yeah, that's true. But it's also in Germany, we definitely have a different, I would even say almost personality. Like once we go to work, we are really, really professional. So we are really good at separating our professional life with our personal life. And for example, here, if you are on vacation, so you get paid time off and you book a vacation or something, it's nobody at work is or would call you for something that is work related, because it would be considered not professional. So we do like to live for work in kind of way, because we just try to work really hard, but we have a big separation between our work personality and our personal personality that we have with family and friends.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's good. That's good. I think not intruding someone's privacy in a way. Mm, But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Earlier, we talked about respecting the rules, being disciplined in a way. When people do break those laws or rules, like, do you feel like society is judging each other, or like they call each other out when they need to?
Yes, I would definitely say so. I mean, sometimes we try to hide big emotions, but when other people do something wrong, they basically know it, and we don't mind to call that out. So yeah, if you're late, you're late, and you got to deal with the
Get it.
consequences of getting judged a little bit. Yes, of course. And if you happen, like in my circle of friends, I would say that I meet consistently, there are definitely people that come more often late to meetings, and they get called out all the time. And yeah, judging in a funny way in a circle friend circle, definitely, but it's also that makes it fun a little bit. But are you getting judged? Yeah, I would say a little bit, definitely. Yeah.
But it's not like it's not heavy in the society. For example, random people in the street, they're not gonna call you out or like be disrespectful to you if you break the law.
I would say if you cross a red light and people see that, they get mad.
I mean,
So if you don't follow the rule, you're definitely getting called out, 100%. So if you don't wait in line, people say definitely, hey, the line is right here, you better get it. all the way back there. So following the rules is a habit, is a value that we take serious. And we feel like that's how society works. You got to follow rules. Otherwise, people do whatever they want. And we don't want that in Germany. We like when it is in order, when everybody knows their place, when everybody really behaves and knows what's okay and what's not okay. And if it's not accepted or if it's breaking a rule, people would definitely call you out 100%.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought. So switching topic a bit, because one of the first things people talk about when they hear Germany is probably like the wars, Hitler, all those things that happened. So, and in a way, I kind of like the way Germany dealt with it. They took accountability for what happened. So tell me how it's taught in school first, and like how is it in society? How do people talk about this?
So, yeah, I think we definitely take accountability for what has happened. And also this generation, like generation I'm in right now, we definitely asking ourselves how was that possible back in the day? But how we're dealing with it, especially when it comes to education, we basically have history classes or subjects in school since grade 5. So once we start going to fifth grade, we have history classes, and you basically every year you have like a schedule on what topics are being discussed in school. Like let's say what topics are being discussed in fifth grade. And every year at least one topic is World War II and what happened. So people know what actually happened back in the day, and that this is a reminder that this is or should never happen again. Yes, shamed is probably the wrong word, but we definitely know what happened, and we just trying to make sure that nothing like that happens again, and that people think for themselves as well. Um, you also have it in fifth grade once a year, the topic of World War II. You have it in sixth grade all the way up to 12th grade. So every year you discuss more areas around the World War and what happened during that time. Sometimes back in the day as a student, you were like, again, because sometimes obviously you heard it like 5, 6, 7 times already. But yeah, I mean, we're good at reminding ourselves on how things went and how history was, and so that we can take care of that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's what I heard too. So that's why I would say a lot of countries, I wouldn't say they hide their dark side of history, but they are not going to discuss it as much,
Yeah,
which is one thing that Germany doesn't do at all, which is actually, well, it's something to respect because a lot of countries are not proud of what happened, especially the dark side of their history.
yeah, yeah. And I think it's good to talk about it. I mean, and I think because the way we dealt with all what happened in history, I don't really think that a lot of country hold big grudges over Germany. And I think that's also because we're dealing with the situation the way we dealt with it. And I think that's how you should also deal with problems or with issues that you had in the past. What I also think though is that you also can't hold a country accountable for things that happened many, many years ago forever. So at some point, you also have to let go of whatever happened because that generation is probably not alive anymore, even. So new generation is here. We didn't do anything that happened in the history, so it would also be not right, I think, to have a grudge forever, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. A lot of countries still have conflicts and they didn't really act properly with how it happened and the following. So I agree. That's a fair statement. I think switching topic a bit about the quality of life in Germany, which is also usually in the top ones in at least in Europe or in the world. Um, so talk to me about the quality of life in Germany. Why is it good? Why is it not good?
I think quality of life in Germany is really good. Since it's really organized and structured, there's no trash on the streets. People behave a certain way. I mean, it's just the values we got taught, I would say. We still have like small villages that are completely independent. I think that's also really good that not everything is centralized and organized like a socialist state or whatever. So we still have some decentralization, but quality in general, we have basically all seasons that are present in Germany. Life is good when it comes to food because our fields and how we grow food is really in a traditional way. So I would say our food is really or is unprocessed or more unprocessed than other foods somewhere in the world, like the US, for an example. And so our air quality, I would say, is really good. We have a lot of trees, a lot of forests, where that makes air quality amazing. Yeah, I think it could rain less. That's something I would agree on. The sky is too gray sometimes. I agree. Other than that, rain is also important for nature.
Yeah.
In
I
that
think
area.
adding the financial part where you can make a decent living in Germany, yeah, that's definitely that helps a lot to live in the country.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna switch a bit more to sports because that's what that's how we've met, especially football, because football is a big part of culture. So tell me first the place it has in society, whether it's local football or like national football.
Yeah, football is huge. I don't think there are many Germans that don't have a favorite football club team. Even if it's just a local team they sometimes go to or read in the newspapers about, or if it's the big clubs, Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Bundesliga teams. Football is just insane, and it's present in every single community, in every single small village. Every village has their own football club. We have, I think, let me think. I think we have 11 divisions when it comes to football. So even if you just meet on Sundays, it's still very organized, and you have a game or a season schedule, and you play every team twice in a year. So even 11th division is really structured and organized well, and you have a independent ref, that is, yeah, I don't think you can experience it in that way anywhere else in the world. Maybe similar, but not like that in Germany. It's really, really insane. Of division teams that host games with 20,000 people in the stands visiting and celebrating with the team. So yeah, this is it's almost a religion, you can.
Yeah, local fans are a big thing in Germany. I would say to me, it's probably in terms of like following teams, even in lower divisions, it could be the best, or even with England. I don't know. England is also big in this.
Yeah, definitely.
But well, we can also make a connection with beer because football and beer are usually a match. It's especially one of the crazy things that I always see when the the champion of the Bundesliga, the first division, they have this big tradition with big big jars of beers. How big is it in like the football world?
Yeah, it plays a major role. You can tell by the celebrations when you win Bundesliga. We call it the beer shower. So where you're getting showered with big jars of beer because basically because you won the league. You can see it in Formula One as well with the champagne. We do it with beer. But it's huge. I think we brew a lot. We have a lot of good companies that brew good beer. But also for the people in general, everybody just loves to drink a beer after work, even sometimes, or if they don't do it once a week after a stressful day at work, they do it at the weekend. And it's crazy because the culture is, some people like myself as well, you surround your weekend on football. So Saturday there's Bundesliga games, and Sundays are the amateur teams that play, like the local club teams. They most likely play on the Sunday. So Saturday already planned with football and Sunday as well. And I think it's just a nice vibe to even go to a local club team, watch the game on Sunday, support a little bit, and drink 1 or 2 glasses of beer and just vibe and enjoy the last day of the week because tomorrow work again. So, and I think it's just how people grew up. It's a habit they created, and Sundays, yeah, you just go support a local club team.
Yeah, beer is is what wine is in France or Italy, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, beers. And even when you see German people going on holidays, because I live in Spain, and Spain is a country that turns into Germany around August or July.
Yeah.
A lot of German people go to Germany, and yeah, you can see they're always drinking beers, or it's a big part of socializing or drinking together. Going into, well, I would say football more deeper. Let's talk about national team more. So what I realized is a lot of countries they get united by the national team in a way. Is that also the case in Germany where everybody comes together when the national team plays?
100%. To be fair, we really like, because it's so important for us, we are really emotional about it, I would say. And if something doesn't go the way we would like as a nation in terms of being successful, then there is a lot of criticism. I think in history we set a standard when it comes to football and how successful we are internationally in big tournaments. And if that doesn't work, then we tend to really go and criticize people and players and coaches and basically the entire organization on German football or the national team. And but when there are World Cup games or other tournaments, we definitely come together. We love this public viewing. I don't know how represent or how it is in your country, but we love to have public viewings. That means just gather around in a bigger area and watch on a big screen, watch the game, and you can definitely say that the national team brings a country together 100%.
Yeah. It's probably one thing that's beautiful about football is in almost every country it brings everybody together. If you had to say any other sport that are big in society, which one would you say?
I mean, since we're a big country, we also represent really quite a lot of sports, and I think I can already also say the Olympics. We are also really present in Olympics and really serious about that as well. So in the US, you would say track and field. We take that really serious. Um, we are good when it comes to skiing and Olympic skiing, but we also have like basketball. We have really well structured, organized baseball divisions. We, yeah, we basically take any sport serious. Any sport you can come to Germany and basically whatever sport you do, you can basically do here. There are only a few that I would say maybe you couldn't do it. I couldn't even think of one sport that you're not able to do here. So we do squash a lot, volleyball, beach volleyball. We present in any kind of sport, I would say, actually.
Mm, yeah,
We even have American football divisions.
this is true. This is true. You're one of the first country in Europe that started this, I think,
Yeah.
American football thing. Yeah. So the thing I want to try now is to do like a quick fire type of thing questions. I'm asking you like you can answer with like a few words. So first, the first question is the best German city. What do you think?
Munich.
Munich. Why quickly?
I think Munich is one of the most beautiful cities. Really nice old buildings, very organized, very clean, very little trouble, very safe. Yeah. I'm also born in Munich, so I might be a bit biased, but I would say a lot of people would say that too.
Okay, perfect. The second is the best sightseeing spot or touristic spots.
That's tough. I would go with probably Berlin has the most to offer, especially because of the historic events.
Okay. What about your favorite German meal?
That's really tough, really tough. German kitchen is not what we're known for. What I said earlier, we are the center of Europe, you can say. We have a lot of countries that having their borders right next to us. What Germany does is we really do have the variety of food. We have so many Italian restaurants. we have Greek food, we have all kinds of things. But what we do have a lot is local stands of a fry stand where you have fries and sausage. So I would definitely say this is, maybe it's not completely German, but it's really known for the currywurst pommes. It's like sausage with like ketchup and mayo with fries, and I would say definitely
Okay.
that is my favorite one. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. What's a false stereotype about German people or Germany?
I think people see German as being cold or being emotional, not really nice or kind or unfriendly, probably associated with the strong and with a strong language and really harsh language, I would say, that people think it sounds or how it sounds. And I think that's not how it is. Once you know German well and the German is feeling comfortable around you, I think you see him in a completely different way. From the outside, maybe it looks harsh or it's not that nice or heartful or heartwarming or a nice person. But once you know a German, you really see that it's not even close to that. So
Okay. What is the best thing about German people in a way? The best attribute?
respect.
That's a good one. And finally, what is the country that Germany likes the least?
The least
Or like that has the big conflicts with?
is a tough one. It might sound politically not correct, but we really disagree with a lot of things from the US. We also sometimes have the stereotype thinking that I would say we don't agree with a lot of things that the US does or things.
Yeah. I think I know what you mean. Like it's like like more the society kind of against how the US does things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And finally, what's the biggest football rivalry?
Okay. It's Dortmund and Schalke.
That's what I was expecting to.
That's the biggest rivalry.
Yeah, it's crazy. When both
mean-
are in the same division, it's crazy.
Definitely. I mean, if they would compete in a cup game, it would get crazy as well. But it's the biggest rivalry, and I mean, it's close to each other, and they share a lot of things. So yeah, the fans already have a history, and just goes back for
Yeah.
so long. And in both teams, the fan culture is insane. So yeah, Dortmund and Schalke is
Yeah.
biggest rivalry.
Which one did you hesitate with?
I mean, if it comes to competing and when it comes to being close to each other in becoming the champion in Germany, it's Dortmund and Bayern. Just from the sport and the sport itself, quality-wise, the most interesting game, I would say. So in a competitive way, Bayern and Dortmund is like the El Clasico, you could say, even though it's not really close to each other. But that's why I hesitated. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it. What do you have a prediction for the World Cup, Germany?
We make it top 3.
So you at least semifinal. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. That's at least the minimum you expect as a German.
That's our expectations. Just
Yeah,
as I said, we like our country. We always want to be on the highest level, push the team, and we expect that from the team that they give everything. So yeah, we always
fair enough. Well, I do think that's everything. Yeah, we had to cover. Thank you, Paul. It was very good. I learned a lot of things about Germany. I hope people learn a lot about Germany. Yeah, thank you, my man.
thank you as well. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate to have the opportunity to represent Germany in your podcast, and all the best for you.
Thank you, sir. If people want to watch the podcast, you can always, well, it will be on the YouTube channel, of course, but also on social media. So I'll put the social media in the description. And yeah, that's it. Stay tuned for another episode.